Today we're talking about hiring. I'm going through this process right now. Hiring is a motherfucker. I'll tell you what, man, it is hard to get somebody in real estate and probably just anywhere in general that is motivated to come in, kick ass day in and day out and work. I've been running ads on the internet with 3 different programs. I've interviewed hundreds of people, and I'm still looking for that one person to come join our team and work as an assistant. And look, I will say that, yes, it is me and I am the problem. There are plenty of people out there that I could have hired. But here's what happens. When I hire somebody who I'm not 100% on, and I've got to be 100%, because if I hire you and I'm not 100%, chances are you are out the fucking door in less than 7 days. And, you know, I thought maybe I'm being too hard on people. No, I'm not being hard enough on people, is what it is. People think that they are going to come into a job, they're going to work this perfect 40 hours a week, they get 2 weeks of paid vacation time, they get their little benefits and medical and vision and dental and a 401k. And I'm sitting there as they're asking me these questions, if I provide all this shit, and I'm scratching my head. I'm like, do you fucking know what kind of a position you're applying for? Like, you understand that we're independent contractors? No, I mean, they don't. So I'm thinking in my head, do you get that the opportunity is not an IRA account at the end of 40 years of working? Do you understand that the opportunity is not benefits? Like the thinking is so small. Everyone is so worried about these little tiny baby numbers that they're trying to get. But they're applying for a job in a real estate office, and they all want to move up to being a real estate agent because they want to make a lot of money and control all their own time. Man, it is hard to get people in here. And if I'm not 100%, they're out the fucking door. And so I grill people pretty hard. I mean, I really bring them through a lot of questions, make them explain themselves, and make them question whether or not this is what they actually want to do. And if at any point during the process they waver, and they think, oh, okay, you know what? Thanks for telling me. I really appreciate you spending the time with me. I don't think this is for me. And then they call me back like a day later and they say, you know what? I really think that I do want to take a chance. They're still out, because I've taken chances with people who've done that, and every fucking time they don't make it. They don't make it. Here's who makes it. The people that make it are the people that have to succeed. These are people who have children, people who have bills that they have to pay, and they have no other option. Okay, these are people with a chip on their shoulder who have something to prove, who are hungry as a motherfucker. They are lions. They are out to win. They ain't worried about vacation time. They are not worried about paid days off. They aren't worried about benefits. They're worried about something much, much bigger. And look, if those are your concerns, first of all, you're just not in the right position if you're coming to interview with someone like me in the real estate office, and that's not your fault. But it's also not your fault if those are your concerns for the most part, because man, society is so conditioned to go after these stupid little fucking benefits that these corporations offer that just keep people in a rut for their entire fucking life, worried about a 401k, money that they can't touch for years or they're penalized, getting their medical and health care. It's like, you know, I get it. You have a family. You need to have medical coverage. But the jobs that you guys are going after, for the most part, they are not going to lead you to the type of financial freedom that you guys are going to be able to enjoy. And you are always, always, always going to be at risk of losing your job. But you're going to think that everything is okay because you've got a job that offers great benefits and you get 2 weeks paid vacation time a year. So going back to why it's so hard for me to hire is because I've slept in my office. I have slept in my car. I have had $10 in my pocket where I had to decide if I was going to get lunch or if I was going to put $10 of gas in my car and go door knock a neighborhood until the sun goes down. I've made those decisions. I remember when my first year in real estate, I was so fucking happy if my girlfriend's parents invited us over for dinner on the weekend because it was a dinner I could not fucking afford. It was chicken and salad and all this food, and all I remember is being so fucking grateful that I was getting a free meal because I didn't know how I was going to pay for the next one. And, you know, I worked at the buffet, and it was such a blessing because I got to eat usually 2 free meals a day. And again, that was money that I did not have in my pocket. I mean, that was a perk, was food that I got to survive on while I was trying to make it in real estate. You know, I knocked doors every fucking day. I had no idea whether or not I was ever going to make it in this industry. And so when you come in for an interview and you sit across from me, you start telling me how much money you're worth a year when you're unproven talent and how you think your past experience at some fucking job is going to give you the heads up on real estate, even though you have no experience in real estate, are unlicensed, and have never been an assistant for a real estate agent, have never made a cold call, have never knocked on a door, have never done any real sort of marketing, and you're going to tell me how much you're worth? Look, I appreciate you wanting to make that kind of money, but you ain't worth shit yet. You're just not fucking worth a goddamn thing yet. You're zero at this point. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to pay you zero. I find huge value in people, but here's what I find huge value in. I find huge value in people who can set their ego aside. I find huge value in people who have humility, people who are willing to shut the fuck up and do what I tell them to do because I have a track record of helping other people be successful within my office. That's what I find value in, and that's what I pay the most money for. Now, I remember, look, I'm not a cheap boss, man. I get off on paying people. I love when my people make money. I remember my first goal was to make more money in real estate than I made in a year working over at the buffet, and that was $38,000 a year. And I remember in my first year of real estate, I made $52,000 or $59,000 or something selling real estate after taxes and paying the brokerage. It was about $40,000 or something like that. And in my first year in real estate, I made more than working at the other job, and I was fucking stoked. And then I remember the first time that I made more than $38,000 in a month. And I was like, fuck, I just made in 1 month what I used to make in 1 year working at that buffet. And I was fucking stoked. I was so fucking happy. And then I remember the first time one of my agents made more than $38,000 in a month. And I was like, man, now I have someone working for me that made more than $38,000 in a single month of what I used to work for and earn at that fucking buffet. And now I'm paying people more than $38,000. Not in a month. That's my next goal. Now I want to be able to pay somebody more than $38,000 a month. But right now I'm able to pay people more money than what I used to work for. But you got to be hungry. I mean, you've got to be excited. You've got to have enthusiasm, and you got to want to fucking be here. It's not just a job, man. I mean, it can be if that's all you want it to be. But again, you don't want to work for me if that's what your attitude is. If your attitude is, oh, I just need a secure position and I need security more than anything else, you're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place. So, guys, it's okay to go to an interview and act hungry. It's okay. It's okay to tell somebody how much you want to fucking work there and act a little desperate for the job. I mean, act excited. It's like we have fucking trained people to not act excited when they go to an interview. Like this is not just some position you applied for, man. This is a life-changing opportunity being presented in front of you. And I've got people like, okay, thank you very much for the interview. When should I expect to hear from you? Okay, if I don't hear from you within 3 days, I'm going to call you. Fuck that. Fuck that. I mean, you're out. You are going out, and I am not fucking calling you back. Like, look, I don't need you bouncing off the walls. I don't need you faking it. But I do need somebody who comes in and is excited about the job, can put their ego on the shelf and say, hey, I don't know anything about this industry, but I'm willing to fucking learn. Tell me what to do. And then say the magic words, I want to make money. And then show up to fucking work on time. At least show up to your second interview on time. For fuck's sake, people. Come on, man. You know, it is okay to act excited at a job interview. And I have no idea why people try so hard. You know, the fucking society has conditioned people to be fucking drones when they show up to an interview and just ask stupid fucking questions, man, that they read off the internet. 3 things to ask any employer at an interview. 5 ways to make sure you nail the job interview. Fuck that shit, man. That is like the biggest fucking garbage, along with the college education, helping you get a job after you graduate. Get the fuck out of here. All right, guys. Think I've said my piece. This is the Get Your Ass to Work podcast. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week.